mom of 7, and I'm 33.
Okay.
With being a mom of 7, do you think that a woman of multiple children is still capable of finding someone?
First, let me ask you before I make a statement. Do the kids have the same father?
Yes, they do.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, so this is a little, hold on. We're talking about 7 children, okay? This is no offense to you because it's absolutely possible for you to find a quality man. What makes it a tad bit difficult is that you have to find a man who has the financial footing to take care of you and several children. And then you also have to be able to find a man who is going to be willing to come in and create structure in that household. 7 children on one person is a lot to create structure in. So there's a lot that this man is going to have to come in and do. On top of that, creating a secure space for you when you have to be a mother and you have to take care of the majority of the things that happen in a house. Are you going to have the ability to be able to love this man in a way that he needs to be loved, in a way that registers as love to him when you have to love 7 other individuals? You're going to need a man who can love those children as his own.
Yep.
That is a huge responsibility to put on a person who does not have those children. Those are not his kids. But if I were you, no disrespect, I'll try to work it out with the father.
No, hear me out. Hold on.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel, Cap Social Network. So after seeing the clip that you just saw, this is a perfect example of how Black women usually wait until they have quote unquote hit the wall before they usually decide to settle for good, decent, and upstanding men. And on that note, I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, that this here female, who is not a bad looking female by a long shot, happened to get pregnant when she got pregnant by the same man. This guy was one of those guys that men are no good. One of those guys, and this is just, in my humble opinion, humble and honest opinion, I guarantee you this was one of the guys that like to get high on a regular basis, was in jail on a regular basis. With that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if he probably got arrested on multiple occasions on behalf of domestic violence for physically assaulting her. And this also goes to show you how Black women like to usually take the initiative and having kids, then marrying. In most cases, having kids without marrying at all. And while she's saying, asking on this show she was on, I forgot the name of it. Anyway, is there any hope of her still being able to find a man, her ideal man with 7 kids? Chances are she gonna have a hard time doing so with that many kids, even if they are by the same man, which I commend her for. And on top of that, the sister who taught the co-host, who gave her some sound advice on how she should go back to her kid's father, it may come a case whereas they, like I said earlier, the kid's father may have happened to be very abusive towards her, either physically abusive, verbally abusive, or mentally abusive. Who knows, all of the above. Or he may have ended up cheating on her on a lot of occasions. To add to that, he may happen to have not only all his 7 kids by her, but he may also have kids elsewhere too by various other women. It's something along the lines of reason why she decided not to stay with him long term, although she could still be seeing him on the side for whenever she's in need, if you catch my drift, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever she may want that thing done right, that thing beat up right, if you see what I mean, catch where I'm coming from. Because there are also lots of women with kids from previous relationships, while in relationships with a guy or guys that they didn't have even one of their kids by, who are still used to, in most cases, seeing the kids' father, in most instances fathers, just for whenever they may be in need. If you see where I'm coming from, in other words, whenever they may be horny and may, want to do a booty call, want to have that hookup, get back with their baby daddy, just so they can be able to, have that hookup, if you know what I mean. And this is one reason why I would advise you fellas to don't take it serious anytime. If you may go the route by settling for a woman with kids from previous relationships, and this is on behalf of my fellas without kids, so they are very own, must be mindful. You must be mindful, gentlemen, to always take into account of how she'll be dealing with the kids' father, or in most instances, fathers, in some shape or form, whether it's on behalf of child support she's collecting from him, child support payments on a monthly basis, or if not, usually have a child support, usually is being intimate with those kids' fathers. Otherwise, if she, just think about, she had to like something about him well enough to want to have sex with him and eventually get pregnant with him. Although so many black women in the same breath, it never fails, always usually have kids by guys, and nowadays multiple guys, only for those guys usually to abandon them. And I wouldn't be surprised on that note, gentlemen, that if this lady happens to have some kind of mental disorder, one of the main reasons she came across on this show, podcast, whatever you like to call it, is pretty intelligent. But you just never know what's wrong with it behind closed doors. And I just can't help but to imagine it's something that allowed the guy who she had all 7 of her kids by, which I once again commend her for allowing him to just up and abandon her. Maybe she happened to be the controlling and possessive type. You just never know. Once again, guys, I would advise you never ever to settle down, especially on behalf of my fellows who don't have any kids of their very own. When a mother, a woman that's an unwed mother, a single mother, you could also consider them or classify them as, because it's always going to come with a lot of drama. Even if you may happen to have or hit it off, guys, when the kids' father, or in most instances fathers, it'll always come a case where even if you do take those kids in for adoption, and those kids will never in most instances respect you or like you. Even if you may happen to fulfill the role that they biological father or fathers in most cases then take the part in fulfilling, they will still in most instances never respect you nor like you like their biological father. Now, if it may come a case where from the time they were an infant to the time they reached adulthood or early adulthood, they never ever knew their biological father, may have come and been an instance where he may have been either incarcerated throughout their whole entire youth, or either may have passed away, unfortunately. Now, it may come a case where when you stepping in as a stepfather, in very rare instances, those kids may from time to time become more comfortable with you and may want to eventually claim you as their biological father. It happens on an every now and then basis, but not too often. Once again, this is a prime example, ladies and gentlemen, of how black women usually wait until they're damaged goods before they usually settle for good men, good, upstanding, and decent men. Anyway, I'm going to end this video, but before I end it, make sure you like the video, you share, you comment on it. Last but not least, you subscribe to my channel. And if you want a shortcut to get to my channel, make sure you put in at Capri Social Network 1261. Until next time, you guys have a good one and be safe out there.